Hi grade 11s, and welcome to this video on your quiz preparation. This topic covers sine rule, area rule, and sine rule, cosine rule, and area rules. And there's some questions in your quiz template which we are going to do thoroughly. Before we begin to answer these questions, let us go over some preliminaries, basically the rules that you need to answer these questions. So slight topic overview. We're going to study right angle triangle, sine rule, cosine rule, and area rules. So what I'm going to explain is when to apply these rules in certain conditions. So we have a right angle triangle. Now when you have a right angle triangle, remember this value here is like opposite angle A is the side A, opposite angle C is a side C. Remember, use capital letters for the angles and small letters for the side, and opposite angle B is the side B. But remember, we know how to find B because we have an equation. We can say B is equal to the square root of A squared plus C squared because of theorem of Pythagoras. Now whenever we have a right angle triangle with basically some angle here which is theta, or an angle can be given there. If you want to calculate using right angle triangles, we need to use SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA, basically where sine theta is equal to opposite of hypotenuse, which is C over B. Cos theta is basically A over B. Remember the value for B to get by taking the square root of A squared plus C squared, and to get tan theta, right, the third one. So whenever you have a right angle triangle, we will always use SOHCAHTOA, and tan theta is equal to opposite of adjacent, which is C over A, right? So when you have a right angle triangle, just use SOHCAHTOA and you will have no issues. You can go and use the sine rule and the cosine rule, but it's not advisable. Just use the for right angle triangle, just use SOHCAHTOA. Now when do we apply the sine rule? There are three conditions. The three conditions are, example, you have an angle, and you have a side, and you have another side given. You can see I'm marking it with a different marking, so AB is not equal to AC. So we have angle side side, right? Or you can say side side angle. Second condition, when we have angle, see different marking, angle side, right? And third condition, when we have angle side and then angle side angle. Usually in the third condition, what you need to do is find this angle here. Of course you can find this angle because you know sum of angles of triangle is 180. So to find angle A, you can just say 180 degrees minus angle B minus angle C. Right, so you can get the third angle. Usually in angle side angle, we always need to go and calculate the third angle. Why? Because the opposite side is given, we need the opposite angle as well. Right, so the rule that we use here, remember opposite A is A, opposite B is B, opposite C is C. Same here, opposite A is A, opposite angle B is the side B, opposite angle C is the side C. Same here, A, B, and small c. So we will use sine A over A is equal to sine of angle B over the side B is equal to sine of angle C over the side C, and this is called the sine rule. Remember, in the sine rule we only solving either part 1 part 2 or part 2 part 3 or part 1 and 3, right? You can go and flip this formula. No, but it's fine. Let's just use this sine A over A, that's sine rule. In a in a cosine rule, we have different conditions. If we have side, angle, side. So what we have side, angle, side. So angle between the two arms. So side, angle, side. So opposite B is B, opposite C is C, and that's A. Right, so this is the condition. You got side, angle, side, or You got side, side, and a third side. So third side, that's A, that's B, that's C. Usually in side, side, side scenario, in this scenario, what you need to do is you have to go and find one of the angles because all the sides are given. Usually in this scenario, you have to find A first, right? You have to find this value. So what formula do we use? There are three formulas that we use, and we will just rearrange them. So this is the case for side, side, side. Right, in this case, we can say a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos of angle A, or you can say b squared is equal to a squared plus, depends what's given. You see in this case b and c is given, so we're putting b squared plus c squared here. So you can write a squared plus c squared minus twice ac cos of angle B, and the last one c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos of angle C. It depends which angle is given, that's the one we will use. Now in this case, in the second case where side, side, side is given, in that case you have to go and find the angle. So if I have to go find angle A, I will make angle A the subject of the formula. So if I make angle A the subject of the formula, you can write cos A is equal to, so what will cos A be? Cos A will be, remember you have to remove this entire term onto the other side and say b squared plus c squared minus the a squared, because we have to bring the a squared over and then divide by 2bc to find cos A. So it's going to be b squared plus c squared minus a squared all over 2bc. And then after you get an answer for this, I'm just showing you how to solve one of them. Obviously the same thing applies here and there. So if you want to find angle A, then you have to say cos inverse, right? You have to say cos inverse of this answer that you get here. So I will show you when I am solving problems. Right, so that's basically right angle triangle, sine rule, cosine rule. And one last one, area rule, is very simple. There's just one condition for area rule, which is side, angle, and we have a side. Usually we say half base times height, but that's more like half base times perpendicular height. Since the height is not given, we can't really use the half base times height. Remember, area of triangle is equal to half base times perpendicular height. This symbol represents perpendicular height. Since we don't have a perpendicular height, we just have side, angle, side in this case. So that's A, that's B, and that is C. So what we say is area of triangle is half BC sine angle A. Now obviously if you want sine B, then you have to multiply the other two sides out, AC with a half. And obviously if you want sine C, then you have to multiply the other two sides out, half AB. So this is my area rule where there's no height given. Now let us solve problems based on all these theory that we have. So what we have here is in triangle MNO, let's zoom in a bit. Yes, in triangle MNO, angle measure of angle M is 135, M is 18, N is 14. Find the measure of angle O. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. So we have to draw this triangle, right? So just a general triangle, and then do calculations. We have to draw triangles first. Is this a triangle not drawn to scale? Alright, so you can draw any triangle M N O. Opposite the side O, measure of angle O. So we want to find this angle here. What's given? What's given is measure of angle M is 135. Okay, perfect, that's 135. M is 18. Where's M? Directly opposite angle M is the side M, so that's 18. N is 14. Directly opposite N is N, that's 14. So the information that we have is angle, side, side. Angle, side, side. So what we have here is yes, angle side side. So we will use the sine rule. So remember, angle M and that one is given. That's 14 is given. So we have to find angle N first and then subtract. We can't really go and find angle O directly. So we have to find angle N and then subtract. Take 180, sum of angles of triangle, and then get the answer. So we will say sine 135. Sine M over M. So over 18 is equal to sine N over 14. If we cross multiply and solve, then what we get here is sine N is equal to 14 sine 135 divided by 18. So what I mean by cross multiplication is this. You can cross multiply and then solve for sine N. So if you cross multiply, what will you get? 18 sine N is equal to 14 sine 135. 14 sine 135. Now obviously we need to divide both sides by 18, so we got sine N is right here. So what we have here is sine N is equal to 14 sine 135 divided by 18. 14 sine 135 divided by 18. You have to divide by the coefficient. So anyways, what answer do we get? Make sure your calculator is on degree mode. Yes, it's on degree mode. So 14 sine 135 over 18. That answer will give me 7 root 2 over 18. Just keep 7 root 2 over 18. So what we have is 7 root 2 over 18, or you can write your answer to 4 decimals, 0.54, 0.55, 0.55. And then you have to say sine inverse to find angle N. Sine inverse to find angle N, you have to say sine inverse. So sine inverse of the answer, I'll just say shift sine inverse of the answer, or let's just write 7 root 2 over 18, root 2 on top, right? And make sure your parentheses are in the correct order and closed. Right, so what we have, 33.37 degrees. So 33 point, but they say around of your answer to the nearest tenth. So what we have, 33.4, because that's 36, because it's more than 5, we'll round off to the next one, more than or equal to 5. So 33.7, 33.4 degrees. So remember, we have angle N now, and now to find angle O, measure of angle O is actually equal to 180, because sum of angles of triangle minus 33.4 minus 135, because sum of angles of triangle, and that answer will give me 180 minus 135 minus 33.4. So I'm getting an answer of 11.6 degrees. I hope you understanding, guys. Alright, let's look at question 2. Same story, we have to draw a triangle, not drawn to scale, of course. So we're gonna write A, B, C, and let's see what we need to do. In triangle ABC, measure of angle A is 60. A is 8, directly opposite A is 8. Let's write 8 here. B is 6, so that is 6. Find the measure of angle B. Find the measure of angle B. It looks like we have to do the same now here, and we have to find angle C first and then find angle B. So same story. So we will write sine 60 over 8 is equal to, why are we using the sine rule? Because we have angle side side. We have angle side side. That's the reason why we're using the sine rule. So sine 60 over 8 equals sine C over 6. Sine C over 6. So we're going to cross multiply and solve. So we can write down sine C, 8 sine C equals 6 sine 60. So 6 sine 60 over 8. Sin sine 60 over 8. And if I calculate the sine C, I will get, what is 6 sine 60 over 8? 6 sine 60 is root 3 over 2. Remember, that's a special angle over 8. So 3 root 3 over 8. I'm getting 3 root 3 over 8. Now 3 root 3 over 8. So now I have angle C. Now I have angle C, which is equal to, you can just say shift sine, because you have 3 root 3 over 8, which was your last answer. You can just say shift sine of the answer because it's already saved there, of the answer, and I should get 40.5 degrees. 40.5 degrees. Now we want to find angle C. So to find angle C, we can say 180 minus 60 minus 40.5 degrees. So you should get 79.5 degrees, because 60 and 40.5 makes 100.5. 180 minus 100.5, 79.5. Let's just double check. 180 minus 60 minus 40.5 degrees, we are getting 79.5 degrees. Perfect. Let's look at the next question. Describe and correct the error a student made in using the laws of cosines to solve for B in triangle ABC. Okay, laws of cosines. So I'm just going to leave this out. I'm just going to say let's solve for B. Take all this out here. So it should be, because I didn't give you where's the error part. So let's see, using the law of cosine to solve for B in triangle ABC. So let's draw triangle ABC. Now they're even telling us what to use, laws of cosine, so no need to think. But let's see what we have. Triangle ABC. Now in triangle ABC we got angle M, which is angle B, which is 120. So diagram not drawn to scale, so that's 120. Actually, we can change this diagram a bit because it's looking, how can I make this 120? Alright, let's extend these lines. Yeah, this here looks more realistic, like 120 degrees, because 90 degrees is kind of like perpendicular. And well, you don't have to do this, you can just draw a normal triangle and solve. But if you realistic, then you can see that this line is the longest side. So what we have, ABC, A, B, C. Now it makes more sense. And what's A? A is 16 and C is 14. Directly opposite C is 14. So what we need to calculate? We need to calculate B. So we can write B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared. How you know what's A and C? Because directly opposite A is 16, that is C, right? So A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cos of B. What's A squared? A squared is 16 squared plus 14 squared minus 2AC. 2, 16, 14 cos of angle B, which is 120. The reason why we're using this, because we have side, angle, side. That's the information given. That's the reason why we are using the cosine rule. Now if we calculate everything and if we take a square root of what we have here, we should get the answer. Let's calculate everything. So we got 16 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 16 times 14 cos 120. We have an answer which is 676. 676 exact, 676, and now we have the square root of 676, square root of the answer, right? And we get 26. So the value of B is 26 units, right? I hope you're understanding, guys. So look at number 3. The triangle illustrates the side view of a roof truss with the edge length of 11 feet and 23 feet. The angle between the edges is 55. So again, we have the same condition as before. We got side, angle, side information given. See, a side is given, then the angle, then the side. Now, how do you know when, how to get this condition? You have to go in cyclic order. You go side, angle, side. Start with one of them and then see what's given. And you go in clockwise or anti-clockwise order. In this case, both is same, side, angle, side. So we want to find the length of AC. The length of AC is actually B. The length of AC is actually B. So AC squared is equal to B squared. Okay, let's take that out. We know AC is B. So B squared is equal to 11 squared plus 23 squared minus 2 times 11 times 23 cos 55 degrees. Now we can write B is the square root of those answers there. 11 squared plus 23 squared minus 2 times 11 times 23 cos 55. 359.77. Alright, so that's the answer I'm getting. And this must round off your answer to the nearest foot. Right, so that's the answer I get, 359.7703. And if I take a square root of this, right, if I take a square root of this answer, so let's just say square root of the answer, square root of answer, I will get is 18.97, 18.97, 18.97. So to the nearest foot, AC is approximately equal to 19 feet. I hope you're understanding, guys. Next one, we want to calculate the value of x. Yeah, so this question is like find x. Find x. So how are we going to find x? We have a right angle triangle. So you got opposite, see, you got 22 degrees. So you got the opposite and you got the adjacent, because this is the hypotenuse. So opposite adjacent makes tan. So you'll say tan 22 is equal to opposite is x over 12,000. So if you cross multiply, make it over 1. 1 times x is x. 12,000 tan 22. That's what we will type. You can go to the final answer straight from here to, there's no need for this extra step here. So x is equal to 12,000 tan 22, and I get an answer of 4,848, 4,848.3 feet. So approximately equal to 4,848 feet, rounding out to the nearest foot. I hope you understand, guys. Next one, we want to solve for x, but we have again a right angle triangle. But in this case, what we have the opposite, and we have, this is the longer side, that can't be the adjacent, that's a hypotenuse. So that's the opposite, and we got the hypotenuse. And what does opposite and hypotenuse mean? This was adjacent and this was the opposite. Opposite adjacent is tan. What we have opposite and hypotenuse. So remember SOHCAHTOA? SOHCAHTOA. So we use tan because we have opposite adjacent there. Now we have opposite and hypotenuse here. Opposite hypotenuse will be applicable to number 6. Opposite and hypotenuse. So we'll say sine 18 is equal to opposite is 60 over the hypotenuse, which is x. If you cross multiply, you will get x sine 18 is equal to 60. So x is equal to 60 over sine 18 degrees. And 60 over sine 18, we'll just put it into the calculator. 60 over 60 divided by sine 18, and we get an answer of 194.16, 194.2, 194.2 feet. There's no, you can't say feet, you just it's in meters now. That's in meters. Yeah, you can leave your answer like this or approximate it to the nearest meter, 194 meter, because these values are very large. Right, next one, and this is the longer side. Next one, question 7. Rachel is attempting to find the area of the triangle shown. She remembers the area is half base times height. What should she draw to apply the formula? Obviously she needs to draw a perpendicular height here, right? Let's take this out, but we don't have a perpendicular height, right? What is B? What is H? What is the area around? Okay, no need for all this. Just type what is the area to the nearest tenth. No need for what's B and stuff, because that's coming from the proof. We don't need proof. So what we have, side, angle, side. I said multiply the half times the product of the two arms, sine of the angles. So we have side, angle, side here. Side, angle, side implies area rule. So area is half 6 times 9 sine 70, and we'll just put this in half times 6 times 9 sine 70, right? And that is 25.37, 25.4, 25.4 to the nearest tenth. Round off to the nearest tenth. So 25.4 centimeter squared. Why is centimeter squared? Because or you can say square centimeters. It's because it's areas, right? For distance you just write centimeters, for areas you write centimeter squared, and for volumes you write cm cubed. Right, so but now since we are dealing with the areas, is square centimeters. Next one, we have two office buildings that are 100 feet apart, as shown. From the edge of the roof of the shorter building, right, the angle of elevation to the top of the taller building is 28, so it's given here already, and the angle of depression to the bottom is 42, it's given here already, right? How tall is each building round to the nearest foot? Right, so we know they are 100 feet apart. We have 42 degrees here. Since we have 42 degrees here, we can take an alternate angle from here coming down. So this is 42 degrees there. This is a right angle triangle. Since this is a right angle triangle, we can actually how tall is each building? So remember, we want this. So let's make the smaller building equal to x and the bigger building equal to y. So that's the length we want to find. So we can put x here and same distance across, so that's y, the distance from there to there. Now how will we find x? Remember, we have adjacent and we have opposite. Opposite adjacent makes tan, so we'll say tan 42 is equal to opposite, which is x, over 100. So x is equal to 100 tan 42 degrees, and 100 tan 42 gives me 100 tan 42 degrees gives me 90 90 to the nearest foot, 90 feet tall. That's x is a small building. You can just mark the diagram x and y, so we will know. So you can say that's a small building, all right, x. Now to find y, yes, to find y we have a problem, because let's see, that's 28, that's 42. Remember, this angle can also be found. How can we find this angle here? And we can also find the side. Look at this side over here. We can use trigonometry to find the hypotenuse here. So then we are dealing with that top triangle only. So let's find h. in this triangle here. So SOHCAHTOA, we can use adjacent hypotenuse. So sine 42 is equal to opposite, which is x, over hypotenuse. Opposite is x. No, not sine 42, cos 42, adjacent over hypotenuse, because adjacent is this, that's hypotenuse. So let's use cos 42 rather. Actually, you can use any one of them because you got those two. You can even use Pythagoras. I suggest just use Pythagoras, and we won't worry about rounding off errors. So let's just use Pythagoras. H is equal to the square root of x squared plus 100 squared. So 100 squared plus 90 squared, and we can just get the answer there. Square root of 100 squared plus 90 squared, and we have the answer 10 square root 181, which is 134.5 feet. Right, 134.5 feet. So h is 134.5. So now if you're looking at the information that we have so far, we have something like this, right? And that's not the height of the building. Let's draw straight lines, right? So that's the height of the building, which is y, and this is basically, we have something like this. No, we don't have this line. Take this line out. We have a line, a slant line going across like this. Yep, and we have something like this, right? So now we need to find y here. To find y here, remember we've got h, which is 134.5. We got this angle. This angle can be 42 plus 28, that's 70 degrees. We can find this angle as well because that's 90 minus 42. So that's 90 minus 42 is going to give us 48, the small angle. 90 minus 42. So remember, this piece over here is 90 degrees. It is straight up. Straight up means 90 degrees. So what are we getting here? We're getting 48 here, right? So what information? We need to find y. So what is this top angle? We can even find this angle here. So that's 180. This angle here is 180 minus 70 minus 48. You can find all the angles in this triangle. 180 minus 70 minus 48, and that gives me 62 degrees. So I know that is 62 degrees, right? So 62, if you add up 62, 48 and 70, you should get 180. Now remember, we have so much of information. Actually we can use the sine rule to find the value for y, because we can say we have angle side, or you can say angle side angle. That's what we have. But initially we had angle side angle, so that's the reason why we found the third angle. So anyways, we need to say sine of 134.5 over y. Sorry, y is the height. You can't say that. It's actually, this arrow is incorrect. You can't say sine of 134. Those are two sides. You have to say sine of the angle over this. So sine of the angle, which is 62, sine 62 over the side, and this is y, sine 70 over y, and then problem solved. So we've got angle side. So sine 62 degrees over 134.5 is equal to sine 70, because the side y is directly opposite angle 70. So over sine 70 over y. Now we solve for y. How do we solve for y? We cross multiply these two. There's no degrees here. Right, so we cross multiply these two, so, and divided by sine 62. So y is equal to sine 134.5 times sine 70 divided by sine 62. and we get an answer from the calculator, which is 134.5 fraction over sine 62. Don't forget about the sine 70 on top, sine 70. Right, and I have an answer which is equals to 143.1. 143.1. And we can see this is a shorter building X and the taller building is Y, so obviously that will be more. Y has to be greater than X. So this is feet. I hope you understood, guys, and make sure to go over all these 8 problems thoroughly so you can actually do well in your quiz. All the best. Take care.